Hello, this is Majida with the Connection Care Community podcast, and you're joining me today to talk about whether or not you can trust your body. Can you trust your body, fertility awareness, and the emotional journey? Charting your cycle isn't just physical, it's emotional, relational, and a window into how your body communicates. Let's talk about it. So, hi there. There's a moment that happens for so many of us on this path. You've tracked your cervical fluid, check mark. You've taken body temperature faithfully, check mark. You've noticed the patterns and maybe even confirmed ovulation, check mark. And then the question hits. Can I really trust this? Can I really trust my body? Learning fertility awareness is a practice of both precision and presence. But what we don't talk about enough is the emotional arc that comes with it. So let's go there today. Maybe you've been told that your body is broken. You were 12 when your doctor put you on the pill to quote unquote regulate your cycle. Or maybe you were 28 when a provider told you your symptoms were, quote unquote, just stress. You've struggled with irregularity, or pain, or signs that made you feel abandoned, shut down, and more than a little pissed off. Maybe you asked for tests and were told everything looked fine. Maybe you described your pain and watched a doctor glance at the clock. No one ever explained what quote-unquote regular really meant. No one taught you what healthy cervical fluid looks like, so you thought you were experiencing chronic yeast infections. No one mentioned that temperature patterns could reveal ovulation or thyroid function. You were given a prescription, but not education. A quick fix, but not understanding. It wasn't just frustrating, it was isolating. It made you feel like your body was a problem that maybe didn't have a solution, rather than a system trying to communicate. You were told indirectly or directly that you were broken, difficult, or too much. It's hard to trust a system that has failed you or ignored you. And after years of being told your body experiences don't matter, trusting your own body can feel almost impossible. Maybe you're afraid to get it wrong. If you're avoiding pregnancy, every decision feels high stakes, and even small mistakes can make your heart race. If you're trying to conceive, each cycle carries a mix of hope, anticipation, and sometimes quiet disappointment. Every chart, every observation, every temperature reading can feel weighty because it isn't just data. It's intimate decision making that affects your body, your future, and your sense of control. You might find yourself questioning everything, rereading notes, or feeling hypervigilant about getting it quote unquote right. You might even feel guilty or for feeling stressed at all, or worry that you're overthinking. This is what I want you to know. You're not being dramatic. You're not overreacting. You're paying attention. You're being human. And that care is exactly what makes this practice so meaningful. And if you're living in a constant state of second guessing and anxiety, that's feedback too. It might mean you need clearer education, better method guidelines, or support from someone who can help you interpret what you're seeing. Fertility awareness shouldn't keep you in a state of hypervigilance. With the right foundation, the practice becomes less about anxiety and more about clarity. You're allowed to care deeply and feel at ease. Learning to trust your body is a layered, sacred unraveling. Trust is built, not forced, and it often unfolds like this. One, you have cognitive trust. You study the method, you learn the science, you take a course, right? Cognitive, you have a cognitive understanding of something. Two, you have behavioral trust. You start applying whatever it is that you're studying, right? You start charting, for example, if it's FAM that we're talking about. You check, you commit, you take efforts to make behavioral changes in your life. The third type of trust is called embodied trust. You notice my cervical fluid is here. My temperature just shifted. I know where I'm at in my cycle. You feel it before you need a sense of confirming it. This kind of trust, embodied trust, doesn't happen overnight. And even when you quote unquote get there, lots of quote unquotes, right? Because it's a process, right? Or do we ever really get there, right? I'm always learning, even though I've been doing this for almost 20 years at this point. It's important to know that even when you quote unquote get there, that you'll still have shaky days. And that's okay too. As I said, I've been practicing this work for nearly 20 years. And as I've spoken about before, I still cross-reference my charts. I still get help and other eyes on my practice. Not because I don't trust my body, but because I honor the complexity of this journey. And let's not forget, this work can actually be emotionally triggering. Why is that? You might uncover memories, medical trauma, body shame, old conditioning about what it means to be on your cycle. You may notice resentment towards a system that never taught you any of this. Sometimes charting is peaceful and empowering, and sometimes it's frustrating and messy. And just because it's frustrating and messy, that's not a sign to stop. It's actually a sign that you're in a relationship. You're in a relationship with your body. Trust is built through presence, not perfection. What if the goal wasn't to master your cycle, but to meet yourself inside of it? What if your chart was less of a spreadsheet and more of a sacred conversation? What if you didn't need to have it all figured out right away? So, a question for you. Do you want to keep building that trust? If so, I have plenty of opportunities for you to go a few steps deeper. I have my Cycle Connection course, which was designed to support you in this exact journey, both technically and emotionally. Whether you're avoiding pregnancy or whether you're on a conscious conception journey, you're healing hormonal imbalances, whatever it is that you're navigating, the Cycle Connection course is a space where you are held, taught, and reminded that you can trust your body. You can ask for help and that you're not alone. So, as we close out, I'd love to hear from you. Has your charting or body literacy journey held any emotional pieces? Where have you maybe felt stuck in forming a relationship with your body? As always, I love to hear from you, so don't be shy to reach out, and I look forward to connecting with you in the next podcast. With warmth and connection, Majida.